हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो है मोड ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ होम्योस्टैटिक कंट्रोल सिस्टम। जो हमने लास्ट लेक्चर देखा था उसमें हमने होम्योस्टेसिस के बारे में बात की थी, पर उसका मोड ऑफ एक्शन मैंने बोला था कि अलग से करेंगे क्योंकि ये दोनों क्वेश्चंस हमेशा अलग से आते हैं, कभी साथ में नहीं आते हैं। तो नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द मोड ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ होम्योस्टैटिक कंट्रोल सिस्टम। सो पहले तो हमें यहाँ पे भी होम्योस्टेसिस की डेफिनेशन देखनी है। दैट इज होम्योस्टेसिस इज अ कॉम्प्लेक्स फिनोमिनन. It is the mechanism by which the constancy of the internal environment is maintained or ensured. The mode of action or the operation of all the systems involved in homeostasis is through feedback mechanisms and the adaptive control system. So whatever mode of action or adaptation or operation we are going to have for homeostatic system, it involves two things. One is the feedback mechanism and the other is adaptive control system. So first we will deal with the feedback mechanism, which has two parts, that is positive and negative feedback, and then we are gonna discuss the adaptive control system. So feedback mechanism, as I said, there are two types of feedback mechanisms, negative and positive. So let us look at the negative feedback mechanism. So most of our body systems act on the negative feedback mechanism. That is, in general, if activity of a particular system is increased or decreased, then the control system initiates a negative feedback which consists of the series of changes that return activity to normal. So that means कि whenever we have any activity going on in the body, whenever some activity is increased or decreased, what the negative feedback is gonna do, it is gonna consist of a series of event which brings the activity that is increased or decreased to the normal level, right? So for example, if blood pressure is suddenly raised or it lowers, it initiates certain reactions that tries to bring the blood pressure to the normal level. And the example number 2, when thyroxine secretion is more, so what it does, it inhibits the secretion of TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, which is releasing from the posterior pituitary, or say from pituitary gland. So thyroxine is not secreted from the thyroid gland, and this is how it is bringing the thyroxine secretion to the normal level. So this is about the negative feedback mechanism. Now coming on to the positive feedback mechanism, it is also known as vicious circle or cycle. So usually it is harmful, and in some instances even death can occur due to positive feedback. So the positive feedback is therefore less common than the negative feedback, and it has its own significance, particularly during emergency conditions as well. So now coming on to the example, when person is suddenly bleeding 2 liters of the blood, then the vicious cycle progressively controls the weakening of the heart, so that weakening of the heart is set to in motion, which ultimately causes death. So जब भी कोई पर्सन में ब्लीडिंग हो जाती है, 2 लीटर्स ऑफ ब्लड की ब्लीडिंग हो जाती है, तो व्हाट दिस विसियस सर्कल डू, दैट इज़ द विसियस सर्कल प्रोग्रेसिवली वीकनिंग ऑफ द हार्ट इज सेट इन द मोशन. सो जो वीकनिंग ऑफ द हार्ट है वो मोशन में होता है, और वो जो हार्ट होता है वो वीक हो जाता है, एंड देयरफॉर अल्टीमेटली इट कॉजेज डेथ. सो हियर वी हैव द ब्लीडिंग अकर्स ऑफ द 2 लीटर ऑफ द ब्लड. अगर हो जाता है तो ब्लड प्रेशर इज डिक्रीज्ड विच कॉजेज द डेथ. Now the blood pressure is decreased. The decreased blood pressure causes decreased flow of blood to the heart muscles, which causes weakening of the heart and decreased pumping power of the heart, and therefore it leads to the death. So this is the whole mechanism of the positive feedback. Now this is a very important diagram which you can draw. It is given in Hindu Purana. So a mild degree of feedback from negative feedback control mechanism of the body and vicious cycle fails to develop. So what it is telling is, whenever we have certain feedback, like mild feedback from negative feedback, so the negative feedback takes over the positive feedback and fails to develop the positive feedback thing. So you will not understand it in this proper sentence. I will give you an example here. When patient bleeds 1 liter of the blood instead of 2 liters, so what happened here, the negative feedback works effectively and blood pressure is overcome, and the positive feedback is not taking place, and blood pressure is returned to the normal. So whenever we have 1 liter of blood loss or a less type of injury, so what happens, the negative feedback takes over the positive feedback. जिसका मतलब ये है कि नेगेटिव फीडबैक अपना काम कर देता है, पॉजिटिव फीडबैक के काम को रोक देता है. तो जब पेशेंट 1 लीटर का ब्लड लॉस कर जाता है, ब्लीड कर जाता है, तो नेगेटिव फीडबैक काम करता है, और ब्लड प्रेशर का जो ओवरकम कर देता है पॉजिटिव फीडबैक को, जो ब्लड प्रेशर है वो नॉर्मल पे आ जाता है. इसकी वजह से जो पॉजिटिव फीडबैक है वो नहीं होता है, एंड देयरफॉर द माइल्ड डिग्री ऑफ नेगेटिव फीडबैक वर्क्स even in the cases when positive feedback is there, it overcomes the positive feedback and leads on to the positive feedback. So further, जो positive feedback है, as I said, it has certain functions too. So the number one function is the clot formation. So blood clotting is necessary to arrest the bleeding during the injury, and it occurs in the 3 stages. So there are 3 stages of blood clotting, that is formation of prothrombin activator, conversion of prothrombin to thrombin, conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. So whenever blood vessel is ruptured, there are multiple enzymes called as clotting factors which are activated, and this process continues until the hole in the vessel is plugged by the clot and bleeding no longer occurs. So this is how blood clotting occurs via positive feedback. Now the childbirth. The second is childbirth. During labor is facilitated by increasing uterine contraction by positive feedback from stretching and stretching of the cervix by head of the baby, and release of the oxytocin hormone on stretching of cervix during labor. So here is the chart where you can clearly see there is release of hormone oxytocin, which causes contraction of the uterine muscles, and that pushes the baby downwards, and this causes stretching of the cervix of the uterus due to the baby's head being pushed down, and stretching of the cervix acts as a stimulus for release of more oxytocin. So this is a kind of a positive feedback mechanism that occurs during the childbirth. Now the third and the last one is the generation of the nerve impulses, nerve signals. So by vicious cycle, the progressive leakage of Na plus ions from the channels set up following stimulation of the membrane of the nerve fiber, which is due to positive feedback. So now the positive feedback occurs by leakage of the Na plus ions from the channels, and this in turn creates signals or generation of the nerve impulses due to the positive feedback. So this were the three uses, or say advantages of the positive feedback and useful purposes of the positive feedback. Now coming on to the adaptive control system. I already said we have mode of action of homeostatic control system as feedback mechanism and adaptive control system. So we've already done with the feedback mechanism. Now adaptive control system refers to the delayed type of negative feedback. So now what is that? It is seen in nervous system. So whenever some movement of the body occurs rapidly, there's not much of enough time for the nerve signal to travel from periphery of the body to the brain, and then again from brain back to the periphery in the time to control the movement. So that movement is necessary and it needs a sudden action. So the time to decrease the amount of time it is taking in traveling from periphery to brain and brain to periphery, there is some other condition in the brain, or a principle is used under this condition, that is called feed forward control. So what it does, that the feed forward control causes the required muscle contraction, which retrospectively is conveyed to the brain by sensory nerve signals from moving parts. So if the movement is performed is found to be incorrect, brain